What's up, guys? It's Poxtops here with Weekend Warriors, and here we are in Xcom 2 War of the Chosen. This is episode 13 of the playthrough that we've been doing. We got quite a few things going on still. We still have 2 slots of alien debris being cleared out, one taking 4 days and the other one taking 29. And then we have only 3 days left on the bond that we've been working on. 3 days left on the alien datapad decryption, and 7 left on Into the Fire, which is the last half of the Warlock stuff. So instantly we got right back into a mission. This mission is going to give us a scientist and 75 intel, so it's worth it. We should do it. Should totally do it. So. I think we only actually have 2 of our Discord guys ready to go, and that's going to be Marb and Lau. So it's going to end up being Marb, Lau, and a couple of the randoms we have. And by the way, if you're not in the Discord and you still would like a soldier in my playthrough of this, just leave me a YouTube comment and I'll get you added. All I need really is the quote-unquote nickname, I guess, which for the most part will probably just be your username. But let me know if you want something specific and I'll get it added. But yeah, with that, we're going to end up with a couple of the randoms who currently don't have nicknames. So it should be pretty good. It's going to be good for us to get some levels spread out. We're still fairly early in the campaign, so I'm actually beginning to regret holding us to one area as long as I have, considering it's already June, I think. So, and as the game goes on, like, it gets a little harder. No, not much. This is veteran, so it's not like legendary Iron Man difficulty, but it does pick up a little bit in the difficulty range the further we get into it. So basically in this mission all we're doing is we're escorting a scientist to the evac, so shouldn't be too bad, should be pretty easy. So I went ahead and cut the loading screens out of this as usual. But here we are. There's a quick look at where the extraction zone is. Here's going to be a real quick time bender right here, right at the beginning. Try to cut out the downtime. So you guys have to sit and watch me try to decide on where I'm going to move people. It's bad enough you get to see my indecisiveness on the world map. You don't need to see it in battle too. At least outside of action. And there's our first pod of enemies. So, crappily enough, we're out. We're still, well, we have troops that are unable to engage because they're out of position. And I make a couple of positioning mistakes in this, which sucks. The Spectre activates the Overwatch, and so the thing about Spectres is when they're in that form, the Overwatch shots against them are pointless. They don't do anything. They always miss. So them being in that form is it's terrible when you got a lot of people in Overwatch. It makes Overwatch pointless. The game looked like it was going to lag out a little bit there. But he, of course, takes over Lau there. And then he moves into... that's really kind of a questionable spot with his move. It's a really weird choice of movement. I believe the shield bearer's shield actually missed everyone except for the shadow clone. So now, like, that dude, Spectre literally moved into a position where it's like, okay, well, I was already planning on prioritizing you to get back my soldier, but you've made that even easier to do at this point. Now, we don't want to kill the purifier with where he's at, because the purifier has a possibility of blowing up, and we don't want that. Not with people being as close to him as they are, especially the scientist. So we take that shot there. There was a dodge grace. That sucks, but I mean we still did damage to him, so it's not horrible. I don't think it puts him within one-shot territory from a ranger, and because of that, I go ahead and move Marv back to flank him. And so Marv takes that shot there, and it's another dodge graze, which still, I think, actually now puts him in to enough damage. Oh no, it still doesn't. There's still not enough damage to kill him. So this is a good little 5, but it's going to end up taking both of our rangers to get rid of the dude. So I end up, instead of putting him directly in cover, he's kind of out of cover. But you know, you do what you got to do to make sure you can get stuff done. So that does give us Lao back though, which is going to be helpful. So I'll take that opportunity to go ahead and move that the scientist back into the full cover that the ranger wasn't able to get. And now Lao has a shot, so go ahead and take the pistol, the lightning hands pistol shot, and then I go ahead and take the actual rifle shot, which still wasn't enough to kill him, but it did get him pretty low. So here's like the only time I think we've seen the the purifier being useful against us. And sadly, the shield bearer there does end up getting a good shot on Lao. A really good shot, actually. So when your soldiers are caught on fire, all you have to do is hunker them down. Now, you lose a turn, but I'd rather lose a turn than them burn to death. So here I decided to go ahead and put Lao in full cover. Yeah, that makes him lose sight on the shield bearer, but I don't want him to be in half cover again and taking more damage. So the ranger that's on fire, I go ahead and move him off to the side to get the hunker down, to get rid of the fire. So now that people are kind of pulled back, I should be able to kill this dude with not much of an issue of him blowing up. I'm just trying to find somewhere safe to throw the scientist, because I'm gonna, pretty sure what I end up doing is I end up giving the ranger the full cover that the scientist was behind. So I decided to use a grenade here to get rid of the dude's cover, to improve shot chances. So this building that's already on fire is about to get a gaping hole in the side of it. So that exposes him. Should make for some at least decent shot percentages.
That's affirmative.
But I go ahead and move the ranger back into full cover just in case, and then take the shotgun shot, and that gets rid of him.
Good riddance.
So that's 2 injuries already. One on a soldier that is pretty important, and another one on a nobody, really. So all that leaves left is the shield bearer, and he activates Lau's pistol overwatch, and I'm pretty sure that killed him.
Got some mag right here.
No, maybe it didn't. I think I've seen him only have 1 health left. But it did activate that other pod. So there's some more positioning errors and targeting priority errors made by me here. It happens sometimes. But there goes one of the stun lancers. So the biggest thing I was worried about in this instance was the robot there using his missile attack on Lau. That was the thing I was worried about the most, really. That missile attack would cause Lau to fall, and if Lau fell, it's very possible that between the explosion damage and the fall damage, it could kill him. So go ahead and lob a grenade here with Marb. Should at the very least get rid of the shields, which it did. I believe they were both in Overwatch as well. I'm pretty sure that removed Overwatch too. No shots ultra far away. I don't know why I thought I could reach him with a frag grenade. So I throw him on Overwatch, and don't want to move the scientist just yet. But I do go ahead and move the other grenadier forward. I should be able to launch a grenade here and get more damage off. Which is not what I do, apparently.
Good copy. Moving on target.
Go ahead and move that ranger forward and leave the scientist where she's at. Go ahead and take this shot. I believe that said it missed. It did.
I'm running low on ammo.
So during alien activity, robot moves forward. There goes one Overwatch. Miss. The second one was actually a hit for pretty good damage too, 5. So that nearly killed him. Looked like he was struggling trying to decide on what he was going to do. So he ended up taking the shot on the grenadier there. And that's more damage to another random. And the stun lancer ends up hitting Marb. So, which is surprising. Generally the rule of thumb is if a stun lancer can see you, he can probably get to you. So the fact he didn't go for that other grenadier is a little surprising. Take this shot with Lau, and that gets the kill on the robot. And now all we have to do is get rid of that stun lancer, and they'll take care of that pod as well. We ended up getting 2, unfortunately. I'll go ahead and take this shot here with Marb. It misses. Pretty much leaves me with no choice but to use one of the rangers and take a melee attack, which will one-hit him, so it's not that big of a deal. And that takes care of that. And here's another little time bender, get us forward to the next pod. Things kind of went tits up in this one. I think it's 3 out of 5 injured, unfortunately, but and the last pod does patrol into our Overwatch shots, so we get a little bit of damage there. with that first Overwatch. And here we're dealing with 3 Vipers and a Shield Bearer, so Marb's Overwatch misses. The other Ranger's Overwatch misses. And then the last Grenadier's Overwatch also misses. So in other words, this is an example of how not to win at Overwatch. Because everyone missed. It's kind of funny. So now we got to figure out the order in which we're going to do things here. I'm torn between using Lau now or saving him. I opt to wait to use him. So we do have 2 enemies that could very easily be wiped out with melee attacks. That does put the Rangers in danger of getting grabbed by the Viper, but them being randoms, I'm not horribly concerned. So I use that one to kill the weaker Viper. Once again, I considered using Lau now. I decided against it to go ahead and take this melee attack with the other Ranger. Nice and clean kill there. So that Viper that's on top of the roof is actually in a bad spot, because what we can do is we can grenade the floor out from under him, which is exactly what I'm going to do right here. Don't get these opportunities very often, so when you get them, you have to take them. So there's the initial damage, and then he takes, I think, 3 more points of damage from fall? No, 2. 2 or 3, I don't know. Well, can't quite kill the Viper, so go ahead and take the pistol shot. It was a dodge graze, but I'm pretty sure that actually puts him within range to be killed with a rifle shot. So I'll go ahead and tell you what I was aiming for here. I wanted to try to get damage off on both of them without hurting my Ranger that's inside the building. So that's why I kept going back and forth between on where I was going to place this grenade. I actually end up going with just killing the injured one over there. I wanted to make sure that this pod was as close to death or being completely dealt with as possible, or completely dealt with. So the other one is within range for Lau to kill, so go ahead and I take this shot, and that finishes him up. So here's another time bender, because the rest of it is just me running everybody to the evac zone. So that finishes up this mission. It didn't go as well as I would have liked, but we didn't lose anyone, so anytime you finish a mission and you don't end up losing a soldier, that's always good. It's always really good. And the more of this I play, the more that operation card that you can get that prevents people from dying instantly. When a soldier goes down, they go into bleed out status. The more I play, the more appealing that becomes. Especially when it comes to like characters we definitely want to keep. You know, like Lau and Marv and Pox and Nothing and Callie, all those guys, those soldiers that have a lot of ranks under their belts, you don't want to lose those to something stupid, which can happen. So the operation that puts soldiers into down status, bleed out, gives you a chance to evac them. So we ended up with 4 injuries. So as 90% of our team got injured. It sucks that Lau and Marb ended up getting injured, but not much we can do about it. Go ahead and give Lau death from above here. And the randoms, they get the abilities pretty much leveling everyone practically the same. So not much to comment on there. We did get a Delirium core though. That's pretty nice, and the intel and the scientist is also very nice. So there's the bond level 1 reached with those two. If I'm not mistaken, that is Featherston and I believe the one that goes by Turbo. So it's Featherston and a random. Let's get some overworld map stuff done, and then we will end this episode. So we definitely want to finish up the disabled truck we were doing, which only has 1 day. So we'll do that first and get that out of the way, and then after that we'll do the supply drop. So there's some supplies. Go up here and start scanning the supply drop. And there's the alien data cache decryption done. I can't speak English. So we'll go ahead and we will do the faceless autopsy.
I am at a loss for words to describe the difficulties we have had in attempting to handle this creature, affectionately known as the Faceless to our troops. The nebulous form of its physical structure, including a pliable, semi-solid outer layer, seems to be slowly degrading now that the creature has expired. There is also a pungent odor that only seems to grow stronger as time passes.
Out of all the aliens in this game, I believe the Faceless freak me out the most. Or they're at least the most disgusting looking. We'll finish up this supply drop. There's some alien debris cleared too. Still can't afford to buy anything. Let's go ahead and drop those 2 engineers into the last alien debris that we were clearing. Let's shorten that timer. And finish up the supply. There's one of the alien rulers were detected. So we'll have to deal with that when we go after that alien facility up there. So there's the supply drop finished up. I debated on scanning for intel or doing one of the alien alloy things, but the heal faster ends up being the more appealing. Getting people off the injured list is faster is definitely pretty important. So go ahead and scan here. And then that happens. So basically that set back the Into the Fire back to 9 days. So we have to wait a little longer before we can go after the
stop these attacks
Warlock.
before they catch up
We
with
did
us.
finish up the exosuit though, so. And there's our next target, so that does it for this episode. We'll do Operation Swamp Dance at the beginning of the next one. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.